What's up, guys? Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
We're back at it again, answering your questions in another episode of For the Greater War. And this time we have an awesome question. But Gersh, let them know what you got to do in order for us to read your awesome question.
If you guys want us to read your question and answer it for next week, comment down below, put question in front of your question so that we can get to it a lot quicker. John Redcorn did this last week, and he said, which Warhammer 40K character would make a good roommate, and which would make a terrible roommate? So I think the best type of roommate would be, now that he's alive, well, for me anyways, Rowboat Gilliman.
Why is that, Gersh1?
Number one, he pees sitting down because he's an ultramarine.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, the toilet seat.
No splashes.
No splashes.
Mm-hmm.
Always clean. Number two, he's very organized. So he's going to keep his shit on his side.
He keeps protractors in his pocket.
He's going to wash the dishes, do the laundry. And also he's a superhuman being, so I can, you know, ask him questions and whatnot about the universe and the concepts of time and space and organization.
And open pickle jars.
Yeah. So me and him will be like best friends.
Actually, that sounds like you and him could be bae friends.
Yes. What about you? Who would you want to roommate with in 40K?
If I could have anybody as a roommate, it would definitely be a Jokero weaponsmith. Because they're freaking orangutans. Like, that's pretty cool. Because he's like a little tiny child that can make a ring into a freaking death beam. Basically
Green Lantern type shit.
Yeah.
He would make you into the Green Lantern.
Yeah, and I could like put him on my shoulders. He could be like a little backpack. And everybody'd be like, hey, what's that monkey doing on your back? And I'd be like, who, this guy? And then they'd be vaporized.
Mm-hmm. What about the worst or a really bad roommate?
Easily, I'd have to say Typhus. Because this guy's got a scythe, he's got Terminator armor, and that already is going to be like sticking out in anywhere you go. Like, where can you go where this guy's not going to stick out?
Yes.
So you're always going to be the center of attention. He's going to smell like crap. And whenever he like bumps into people, they're going to turn into zombies. So, not my kind of dude.
I would say the worst roommate for me would be the Great Unclean One. Just because the smell, the sight, everything would be disgusting. No dishes washed, and I would get herpes.
Well, who's to say he doesn't already have it?
I don't have herpes.
No.
Next question.
The next question is Tyges Basnall. Will you guys be doing 40 facts on Warhammer fantasy games like Sigmar and Fantasy?
At some point.
Perhaps.
Maybe later on. Who knows? We'll see.
That's right.
Next question. Comes from... Oh no. Oh no.
I can't find one.
Sergeant Sarcastic. What is actual naval warfare like in 40K? Like boats and oceans, not in Imperial Navy stuff. Much like the naval warfare now. So you have like huge monstrous ships that really like shoot out, or they're really meant for like bombarding and whatnot. And also submarines.
Submarines are pretty good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It does happen because in the in Armageddon, the orcs actually used like orc
Oh yeah, they
submarines.
did have submarines. Yeah.
Yeah, and there were submarine battles on Armageddon.
Mm-hmm. Now that's one of the things that I'm really piqued by. I was gonna say interested, but piqued is a better word. I was piqued by these submarine battles, these naval battles, because you don't really hear too much of that in any of 40K. So here's to 8th edition bringing naval battles. That's not gonna happen.
Alright, not no. Next question.
This one's by Bible Man. Will we ever see 40 facts on Matt Ward?
Would you ever want to?
I think I've seen enough of Matt Ward. So after what he did to my Grey Knights, and literally anything else that he touches, I feel that if we put a 40 facts on him, it's just gonna be cancer to everything.
Yes. Next question comes from Cruz Zio Coastaker. Do you think we will ever hear more about the unknown Primarchs or their legions that were deleted from Imperial records? Not from GW.
No, I feel like they've specifically left it ambiguous to give that creativity to us, the players.
Yep.
The Iron Kai. Is it true what they say? That Tau women prefer human men?
Damn!
Shots fired.
Only Earthcast.
Yeah.
Doughboy says, question. Who would win a duel if they were at the height of their power? A Catan, the Nightbringer, for example, or the Emperor of Mankind?
Ooh.
It's easy to compare the two Psychers, but the Catan isn't a Psycher.
So we kind of answered this in a way. The Catan are weak against psychic powers, and the Emperor is the strongest Psyker. But the Emperor did fight against the Void Dragon, and he wasn't able to kill him. He just basically knocked him out, put him into a slumber, and built a fucking Forge world on top of him. So, did he pull his punches against this Catan? Maybe. But I feel like the Nightbringer, the Deceiver, they're like nowhere near Void Dragon level, so they'd probably get stopped.
Right. Ben Francisco, if you guys had to choose a Space Marine chapter, what chapter would you guys choose to fight for?
Probably Blood Angels, because for Sanguinius.
I would definitely do Imperial Fist because Siege Warfare sounds fun.
I could actually see you being an Imperial Fist. Because you never wear yellow, and they always wear yellow. You're not a superhuman Space Marine, and they are. And they've got bolt guns, and you just got your gas, so.
Yeah, I keep a chopper in the trunk, too. Next question.
This one's by Andrew Ryan. Yet another Catan question. Since the Catan were trying to seal off the material universe from the Immaterium, warp, if their work could somehow be completed, wouldn't that effectively defeat all the forces of chaos once and for all? So if they did succeed in sealing off the warp, would that really defeat chaos?
No, chaos would still exist. There's other warp gates. It's just that one happens to be the biggest one.
Right, like the Eye of Terror and whatnot.
Yep. If anything, if the Eye of Terror was shut off or closed off, they would probably try to go through an already open one, which is the Terra.
Or there's other warp storms. The warp always finds a way to bleed out.
The Cornus expanse.
Yeah, isn't it like people, Psychers, they can actually become a portal to the warp. Yeah.
Next question comes from SR Hunter. The 2nd and 11th Space Marine chapters were expunged from Imperial records, and the Horus Heresy book suggests in a few places that it's an open secret amongst Astartes, or at least a rumor, that they were absorbed by the Ultramarines. Whoa. What happened to their Primarchs? I only ask because it seems like a huge shock when the first Primarch died, even among other Primarchs, as if they weren't sure until then that they were even mortal. It wasn't just the betrayal, but they seemed truly amazed that Primarchs could be killed. If the 2nd and 11th Primarchs have been slain, wouldn't it have set a precedence regarding their mortality and not been such an existential blow? Honestly, I don't think they ever believed that they were immortal.
Right.
The reason that I say that is because when they were scattered throughout the Imperium, they grew up without the knowledge of the Emperor for the most part, and they grew up amongst death. So if you see people doing a certain thing, which is dying, at some point you understand that I'm gonna die too. Even though I'm really special, at some point I'm gonna die.
That's right.
So I don't think they were ever.
Yeah, and it's like even during the heresy, when Ferrus Manus' head got cut off, yeah, it sent like a psychic backlash and everything. But at the same time, they weren't like, oh, we can't be defeated. We're Primarchs. It's like everybody knew there was risks involved. Everybody knew when you go down the battlefield, you may not come back. So that's why they fight even harder to make sure they can still keep on living and, you know, praising the Emperor and all that stuff.
Right, and the Emperor would want to instill that into his people, because usually it's the knowledge that you're gonna die that pushes you to do what you do.
That's right.
Next question.
This one's by Kaiknos Memnon. Do Space Marines have armor? For example, Dreadnoughts also have energy shields which protect them? That does not make much sense. So
we're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Do Space Marines have armor? Yeah, they do. Okay. Colin Turner Todd. If trillions of Psychers have been sacrificed to power the Golden Throne, aren't the souls of those sacrificed people the ones keeping chaos at bay and guiding ships through the warp? After all, the Emperor was made from 100 Super Psychers, but the sheer number of sacrificed Psychers would be enough to make at least 3 more Emperors. Well, the quality of the 100 Super Psychers...
Super Psychers.
You don't really know, right? So, for all we know, trillions of Psychers could equal 1 Super Saiyan Psycher.
Super Psychers, very fun to say.
Super Psychers. Super Saiyan Psychers, Super Sponge, Wacky Waving Inflatable Tube Man. So to answer the question, I don't really know, or it was never said how strong those Super Psychers were.
Anyway, I feel like that'd be kind of a cheating way to get the Emperor back if he were to die. It's like, oh, the Emperor's dead. Hey, let's find some Super Psychers.
They've been over there the whole time.
Right, they've just been waiting for this to happen.
Yeah, whoa, GW, you're awesome.
It's like these Super Psychers are just like bamboozled inside of a Super Soaker, and he's just gonna spray it all over the place. Super Psycho, Super Soaker. Duncan Hall. Are you ever going to show us a game with your Celestial Sun Space Marines? Celestial Sun Super Soakers, Super Psycher? What the hell's going on today? Yes, I'm going to show you gameplay of them. I'm just working out a few tweaks here and there. And I kind of want to get them all painted up so that I can show you this awesomely painted army with new rules and their awesomeness. So yes, just give me, I don't know, a month or 2 to get them painted up.
Last of the Romans. How do jump packs work, especially landing part? Try jumping off a measly 6-foot wall in sneakers. The shock reverberates straight up your legs. An assault marine must feel the shock of 100 times that to have to fight an orc. So you got to remember who uses jump packs. Superhuman Marines, right?
That's right.
Who've gone through intense genetic modification, organ implantation, and
they're wearing armor, so the armor is going to take a lot of the brunt of the force.
Yep.
And then their muscles and their super dense bones take the rest. So to them, it probably just feels like a skip or a hop.
Yeah, a skip or a hop for the Super Psycher Super Soaker. And I right now, or I was watching on YouTube this video of like, just, you know, your average Joe, and he's in this like contraption, which is supposed to be like a robot or like a battle suit, and he can pick up like an incredible amount of weight with just like moving it like that. It's like prototypes for the military, what have you. So if that's happening now, and that's just with like an average Joe, imagine with a superhuman like Marine. You could probably like jump from a ship in space and land on Earth.
I wouldn't say about all that, but that's you go from picking up something really heavy to jumping off.
I'm talking about the space Marine though.
Okay.
I'm not talking about a human.
Even still, that's a big gap, man.
Well, because if you think about it though, like if a space Marine jumps off his ship towards Earth, right? The friction and the fire and shit will burn off parts of his armor.
So you're saying their armor is so advanced it can take the heat of re-entry into a planet.
Yeah, isn't there like they have saving throws for plasma guns, and how hot are plasma gun shot fires?
Yeah, I guess. It's 40K, guys.
Next question.
This next question is by it's Russian, so I have no idea. He asked, "Do you live in Mexico?"
Yes.
We all live in Mexico all the time.
Rygat Reptor. In 40K, the Emperor is most likely passive psychically. No, hold on. In 40K, the Emperor are mostly passive psychic. Yeah, passive psychically. So how the army of the Imperium organize themselves based on authority? Are they like a military junta, or do they possess a leader? So I think what you're trying to say is, so the Emperor is not there. How is the Imperium organized?
Right.
So before the Emperor died, he stepped away. He left it to the Space Marines, and he left it, or the battle to the Space Marines. He left it, the rest, to the Ecclesiarchy. Of course, the Inquisition rose to power. Gilliman with its Codex Astartes. That mapped out a foundation, which is what we have today in the Imperium.
That's right. There's always a chain of command. You got your captains, your chapter masters, etc. So think of it as nowadays, just with like 40K terms to it.
Yep.
Mr. Theorist Fist. Are there dragons in 40K?
Shall we?
The Eldars ride them into battle in their Exodite worlds.
Yep, check out our 40 facts in the Exodited worlds. Chad Williams. At what point in the New Crusade will Angron reappear with his World Eaters and reunite with Karn, seeing as it was the World Eaters who first breached the Emperor's palace walls? I know GW gave us Demonkin and access to the Traitor Legion's rules, but I was hoping for World Eater reunion. Probably not until later.
And probably not until Agron actually comes out, maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah, like I honestly think they have to figure out the thing with Gilliman. Whatever happened with Magnus the Red?
Oh, so he kind of effed up the Space Wolves. He's like, later.
But then, like, what the fuck?
Right, like, I felt like it could have been something way more... Like, if he would have joined freaking Abaddon in the Fall of Cadia, like, and it would have kept on going, but...
Yeah. But I guess the reason that I brought that up is there's going to be situations in the future where they do bring back Primarchs or Demon Primarchs, and it's going to fail. Fail in terms of storytelling. Yeah.
Mr. Theorist Fist again. He's got two questions. So, first one. Do you prefer to dry brush or add a wash? I don't paint, so Gersh?
I like washes. Dry brushing I do rarely now. But if you're trying to get something done quick, dry brush.
And then the second question. Brownies or cookies?
I gotta go with cookies.
Hands down, brownies.
The fuck? Why? You can only have one brownie before you feel like...
Yeah, that's true. But like, cookies, I feel like you could really enjoy them with a glass of milk.
Yes.
And I'm lactose intolerant now, so I can't have cookies. And I say now because back in the day, I was able to drink milk like nothing. And then high school hit, and then diarrhea hit, and then no more milk hit.
He used to eat cereal without any cereal. It's just a bowl of milk.
Yeah, that's how hardcore I was in the milk game.
He drank bowls, not glasses. Last question from Chaos Poseidon.
Oh.
I just started out my first tabletop army. Awesome, man. Went with... Oh, I think you already answered this. Yes.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That one. Hit him up with that other last question.
Okay. The next last question comes from Robert Casey. When an Imperial world falls to the foul Xenos Tau, does the world's military abandon their old battle tactics and weaponry in favor of the Tau? Or do these traitorous fools further insult the Emperor by blending them together?
Yeah, they insult the Emperor.
Big time.
Yeah, if they're prisoners of war, they just give them like a gun and throw them in the front lines to die. But if these people really do embrace the greater good, they do get Tau weaponry, Tau armor. So they basically get all the benefits of being in the Tau Firecast. And they are kind of seen as equals, but not quite. So yeah, they do kind of do a little bitch slap to the Emperor because they're like, sorry, dude, we embrace the greater good.
Yep. Thank you for sending those questions our way. Please do it again. Comment down below with your question, and we will answer them next week. We also have some Patreon exclusive Greater Walls and some more stuff on Patreon, so please check us out, support us. If you can't support us on Patreon, which is $1 a month, hit that little notification button. It's a little bell icon right next to the subscribe button, and that helps out the channel a lot.
Yeah. Also, just an FYI, there is a sneaky giveaway going on in the Patreon right now. It's pretty easy. Just become a Patreon, and one random winner will win a secret giveaway. So why not? Check out the Patreon. It's only $1 a month. And that's all we've got. Keep on liking and sending your questions, subscribing, sharing. Click that notification button. And as always, Sound Alchemist,
Gershwin.
We are One Mind Syndicate, signing out.